What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 43 of Beyond the Finish Line, a running podcast that dives deep into the stories that transcend far beyond the distance. I am your host, Joe Hardin. I'm a passionate trail runner myself. Whether you're an elite, a back-to-back grinder, or somewhere in between, this is your space to learn, grow, and get inspired. Today we have Rachel Entrekin, which is fantastic. I'm like super stoked about this. But before we bring Rachel forward, real quick, friend of the pod. First of all, you guys understood the assignment. Thank you for commenting on all the episodes. It's been really awesome seeing you guys respond to the show, and it lets me know that you're listening. So that's really cool. Thank you for all the 5-star reviews, and just continue doing what you're doing. Like, share, rate, subscribe, share the podcast. This is awesome. And I'm super stoked for today's guest. Rachel is an ultra runner. Obviously, that's what brought her here. Rachel has had a stellar year. I mean, many years. But recently, she just had like a great run at Coldwater Rumble, Mammoth 200, famously this year, Cocodona 250. Now she's a signed pro athlete, which is really cool. What brought Rachel like on my radar wasn't like all these like stellar performances. I actually got sucked into the Cocodona 250 live stream for the first time this year, and Rachel's just out there crushing Cocodona 250. But what really struck me was she was stopping to pet dogs. So like I'm a dog lover and I do the same thing on my runs. So I knew I really wanted to talk to Rachel and have her the show. Plus she was repping some folklore gear, which is pretty cool. Elliot's a friend of the show. So, without risking me going on some like big rambling preamble for the show, let's just bring Rachel forward and have this great chat. Okay. Hey, Rachel, how's it going?
Hi, great. Thank you for the intro. That was quite nice.
Yeah.
Friend of all dogs. That is me.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said in the back room or whatever, that's what really caught my attention. And then it was, I realized later that you were just like, oh, how cool is this? So, I like to stop and pet dogs. It doesn't matter how I'm doing an event or a race. So,
yeah. Well, I think petting dogs helps my mental state improve. So, yeah. I think it might slow you down for a second, but speed up eventually.
So I guess I need to ask: Do you have any animals at all?
I have 2 cats. I grew up with dogs, and I'm really lucky. My cats are awesome. They almost act like little dogs sometimes, but they have really funny personalities. Like today, I was chuckling because Bowie, he's an orange cat, and he's very orange. But today he made friends with a squirrel outside, and they were going at it with the glass door in between them for probably about 90 minutes. And I was just sitting at the kitchen table, on my computer doing some work and just cackling. Cause he was chirping at the squirrel. But yeah, so I have Bowie, and then my other cat is actually named Clickatat, which is, it's like a native, it's like a native name, but yeah, and he's a little Siamese, but they're both great. But yeah, I grew up with dogs and I just really like petting fuzzy things. So
same.
Yeah, I don't really care. If there's a rabbit out there, I'll want to pet it too. It doesn't really matter. I was really into ferrets growing up also. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I had pet guinea pig, which is kind of like a chubby ferret, I guess.
Yeah. Like a chubby short ferret.
Like a chubby short ferret.
Yeah. No, I never had a ferret. I would just go to I would go to the pet stores and pet the ferrets, and I would wear them boas around my neck, and walk around the store and just pretend like they were mine. But yeah, I had some dogs probably a decade ago now, when I was finishing up my degree in physical therapy, and it was just a lot. Dogs are a lot. And then when I moved across the country, it was really, really, first of all, hard to move across the country. Second of all, really hard to find somewhere that would allow me to bring my 2 dogs, one of which was kind of aggressive. She was actually a dingo, I found out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So she wasn't really even a dog. I don't know how that happened, but yeah. And so I wound up one of my buddy's moms, their dog passed away and she was devastated. And so we kind of she wound up taking them, which was great. And she sends me updates on like how they're doing still. But yeah, so after that, it was really heartbreaking, and I felt terrible about like having to rehome my pets. And so I'm like, cats are the only, I mean, especially if you get a good cat, they're kind of like dogs. They're just like way more independent.
So. Yeah. I think my favorite thing about cats is like, they don't need us. So if they want you, it's like they chose you. Like they really don't need us whatsoever. And I think that's what I appreciate about cats.
My cats are very people forward. Like they love people, and I really can only be gone. I can't remember what my rule is now, but it's basically like 3 days. If I'm gone for more than 3 days, like somebody has to come and check on them, or else when I get back, A, that's just a long time. And then B, when I get back, they will not leave me alone. Like they will come into the shower with me. Like it's pretty nuts. So they're great. I love them. I got really lucky, not just once, but twice hitting the cat lottery. So
that's cool. Yeah, that's rad.
Don't mind too much. Yeah, I had to lock them out because I actually did a podcast earlier today, and the cat walked across my computer, and I was like, "Ah, you're gonna like turn off the screen." That's happened before. But yeah, they're funny. I like them a lot.
That's awesome. It wouldn't be the first time that happened on this show. We've had like an animal cameo, so
yeah, ridiculous.
That's cool. Well, yeah. So Rachel, thanks for coming on the show. I'm honored. It's been cool. I've been following along for a while. It's been really cool seeing you crush all these races, and I guess it has me curious. Like, where did obviously you didn't just like put on a pack and some running shoes and start like running Cocodona. So I guess I'm curious, like, what was like your origin to running, or like, and how do you get to like here? I mean, now you're a pro athlete, like that journey.
Yeah, it was a journey. And I, when I first started running, I was into marathons, or I guess I was into half marathons, I suppose, on the road. And so it's like with each increase of my distance, I like discovered the next distance. So I really kind of did everything. I know that there's those people who go from like couch to 200 miler. I don't understand those people. I'm not one of those people.
Yeah.
If you are one of those people, I have questions. But yeah, so I did half marathons, full marathons, got kind of into trail after my first full marathon. And then kind of dabbled between like trail and road marathons. But I was a really prolific runner. Like I would do probably no fewer than like 2 marathons a month. Racing, wow, which is a lot. Yeah. But it was just really fun. I just really enjoyed. I was obviously destined for ultra running because I really enjoyed I really enjoyed it. But yeah, and so I think I did that for probably 2 or 3 years, and then I was finally convinced by my friends to do a 50K. So I did that, and then that same year I was convinced to do a 50 miler. So I did that. And then I got into fixed time. So I did 12-hour races for a really long time. And then eventually I did a 24-hour race where I did my first 100. And that was all in the Southeast. And so then I moved out to Washington State and kind of discovered like mountain running more so than just like trail running. And did, I would say my first mountain 100 was I Am Tough. That was in, I think 2018 or 2019. I can't remember. But, that was like, I was a toast on that one because it was just like, this is the best. Like, you have to be so self-sufficient. And like, I had done a couple FKTs. Like, I think I had done the Wonderland Trail by that point by myself, which is a 93-mile route around Mount Rainier. And I just really liked that part of running where you just like, you have a goal and like you set out to do it. And the only reason that like you don't complete it is because you decide not to. And the reason why you do complete it is because you did it like by yourself. And so yeah, started, like I said, running big mountains in 2019 and then only gotten more insane since. So yeah, I think I jumped into 48-hour racing probably maybe 4 years ago. What year is it? Yeah, probably about 4 years ago. And then did Cocodona in 2024 for the first time. And now I'm a 200 person, I guess. But I like all the distances, really. I mean, I think they're fun. So
Yeah. That's amazing. Like, I guess I'll be a 200 person. I think that's just so cool. Yeah. How does that feel like to be like I mean, it's not like you're like coming out of nowhere. You've been doing this for like a really long time.
yeah.
So it's like, um, so like, would you say that you probably love the 200 plus mile distance the most, or like?
I would say that it is my favorite distance is the multi-day. I think the best distance is the 100 miler though.
Okay.
Cuz like it's a day. Like, and I don't know. I think as far as like competitive edge goes, while I would love for 200s to get more competitive, and they certainly are getting a lot more names. And I just think they're so fascinating because, like, psychologically, they can be devastating. um, but, uh, but yeah, I think 100 milers, like, I think most normal people that like commit to doing a big thing like can do 100 miler, but like 200 milers are a privilege. I think they're expensive and they take a lot of time. And like I've been working every single time. I've done Cocodona, and this is going to be the first Cocodona where I'm not having to go back to work the following Monday. But yeah, I mean, it's like it's rough. Um, but yeah, I mean, you for 100 miler, you're not having to take off a week of your life to go do this race. You can just kind of like do it over the weekend. So for me, I think the accessibility is a little bit easier. So it just gets more of a crowd, and it's like more of a competition. But
Yeah.
personally, I think multi days are super fun. Takes you to some weird places, like both mentally and physically. Takes you to some weird places. So yeah,
Yeah, I think that's what captured me about it. Like, I've got, friends that do multi-day or that have done like triple crowns and stuff. And it just like from the outside looking in, I'm like, oh my God, this looks like it just, like you said, takes a toll on you. But then you talk to them and like kind of learn what they've learned about themselves. And like, yeah,
yeah,
like, yeah, it was terrible. But then there's like, but then, I've heard like friends say like the day three magic thing. So I'm just like, this sounds awful, but I really need to experience like whatever that is. So
yeah. And I mean,
yeah,
it's funny
sounds
because
pretty wild.
yeah, I mean, it's funny because that used to be the 100 miler for me. Like 100 miles used to be like good. Like I would get to some weird places and I'd have to like battle through the hard stuff. But then I just did too many of them, and now it's like, well, that's easy or not easy, not easy. But it didn't get me to the same place. And so yeah, I remember. I mean, I very distinctly remember in like December of 2023 being like, because back when you could sign up for Cocodona like 4 weeks in advance, now you can't do that because it sells out immediately. But back in my day, yeah, I remember being like, oh, I had just finished a 100 miler, and it was like it was not hard for me to finish that. And like we run these things because they're hard. Like we certainly aren't doing it because it's easy. And it felt too easy. And so I was like, well, crap. Like I don't want to like, I don't necessarily want to run these things any faster than I already am. So like the only thing to do then would be to run longer. And Cocodona has been on my radar since its inception, basically. And so it was like, well, I guess I'm signing up for it. So like, hello. Yeah, I'd run a couple 48 hours. I think I'd run like 4 of them by that point, but I had
Oh, cool.
done 2 in which I got 200 miles. So I wasn't
Oh, cool.
I wasn't completely new to 200 milers, but there's a big difference between like across the years and Cocodona for sure.
Oh yeah, God, that's been really high on my list the past couple of years to do across the years. I
Across the
like
years is
times.
awesome.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Like every time I don't sign up for it, I'm just like I get like major FOMO because I see like obviously the social media stuff. I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
goodness, this looks like so much fun. But
it's really fun. It's really fun. It it is funny because, we have that whole burrito challenge, burrito league right now, and I'm obsessed with it. I don't know about you. I don't know if Indianapolis
Yeah.
even has. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
fully
Yeah.
obsessed. But it feels really similar to the fixed time world where you're just doing the same thing forever and you're like seeing these similar faces and you get to have conversations with people because you see them so often and you really get to know a place when you're there constantly. So yeah, if you're also a burrito league fan, try across the years because it really is. It's a fun race and you get to celebrate on New Year's and they have like I think it's like sparkling cider and
Oh,
champagne.
cool.
It's really fun. They do it up. It's really fun. I recommend it.
Yeah, there's a burrito league like 30 minutes from here, and I just like haven't had time to break away yet. And it's like,
Yeah.
and then there's like something toxic in me that wants to like see if I can like taper and then just like throw down for like a weekend on the segment because I just
Well,
really like,
you got
yeah,
2 weeks. So
yeah. I'm just like
um
I could just taper up like I would be for any other event and just see if I can just like hammer down on the section.
well
But
it's
so I don't know.
ridiculous. It's really ridiculous because like you go out there and if there's people around, like you will be at 10 miles before you even like can blink. Because people are it's funny, like you're not really going that fast. It's really easy. It's easy running. It's like, what is it, zone 0.5 or whatever, where you're just like
Yeah.
really like your legs are just moving and like nothing is happening. Because I did before Cold Water Rumble, I was a little bit like well, we'll see how this goes because I was like, again, fully obsessed with Burrito League, doing like I did two 20-mile days, Monday and Tuesday, right before I have this 100-miler that like I don't want to die at. And then I went to Flagstaff and Tempe and was like fully into like their burrito leagues, and it's just like, oh my god. So I wound up going into Cold Water Rumble with like 65 miles of burrito segments
Oh
and just
wow.
being like, okay, like let's see what happens. And it was fine. Like I can't say one way or another that like I was that tired. Because it's just you're not running for speed, you're just out there. So yeah, it's really fun. I don't even think you need to taper. I think you could just do it whenever.
Just do it.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever. Don't get injured because that would be stupid. But yeah,
I'm not.
if
I'm
you
like.
yeah. If
Oh,
if
go ahead.
you're
I'm sorry. I'm like notoriously bad at tapering for stuff, anyway.
yeah,
So
I don't believe. Obviously, same. Like I, I usually taper a little bit better than what I did for cold water, but not by much. Um, yeah. I'll put in like 25 miles maybe before a 100-mile. Like if it's like Monday through Thursday, I'll put in like 25 miles. But yeah, 65 was a little aggressive, but we did it.
that's
So
that's I forgot who I saw on Instagram calling it like they also didn't taper for cold water, like they called it like
oh,
burrito
Jake
legs. I was like,
Jackson.
that's Jake
Yeah,
Jackson. I was like,
exactly.
that's like the funniest shit I've heard in like all week.
Yeah,
So
Jake was really funny. He was like, "Dang it, maybe I shouldn't have tapered," because he was like watching me just like lap him. It's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't, because like I don't
secret of
know,
the
yeah, and like that's
secret of the
the
pros run
thing.
burrito
Yeah,
league.
yeah, exactly. And that's the thing too is like I don't typically take like a formal off season because I also genuinely enjoy running. So like I'll like tone it down or I'll like decrease the intensity of what I'm doing, but like I like to run. But then it's like people are always asking me like in my DMs, like, oh, how do I get back in shape? It's like, well, the secret is you never get out of shape
Just
because then
keep
you never have
going.
to get back into it because getting back into shape is hard. And like, I don't know. I just I think you can still, or at least for myself, I found that like I can still make a lot of progress without having to like sacrifice running. Like I'll have like a down month here and there if I'm like feeling tired or beat up or something. But honestly, last week was really interesting with the easy running right before a 100-miler, where it's like, crap, I actually don't feel bad at all. Like I was like shocked at how like fresh relatively I felt going into cold water, despite what I had been doing all week. So
That's great. Yeah, because Jake did really well too, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
he did. He did
that's
pretty well.
rad. Maybe I'll have to keep that in mind for my next. What do I have coming up? Knobstone 50 mile. Maybe I'll just like run a segment
Yeah,
by the Chipotle down the street from my house
yeah.
all week.
Why not?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, it's all made up. Coaches don't know anything. So
That's so wild. So I guess I'm curious because you started running for
Notre
Norda, right? Yeah.
Dame.
I still haven't tried out a pair of their shoes, but they look really cool, and
Yeah,
everybody that I know that wears them is like diehard Norda
they're
fans too.
sweet. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they're
pretty
not
sweet.
like they're not like super popular in the Midwest. It's kind of like the same thing. It's like the Hoka and Brooks cast. Like Mount Coast have like swept
Yeah,
Indiana for trail running,
that's
but
funny.
yeah, but I guess I'm curious, like what that's like transition's been like. Has anything like changed at all? Like obviously you're still throwing down miles and like
Yeah.
yeah, I
Um,
mean
yeah, I was actually introduced to because I have historically been I guess I'm like shoe agnostic. I started in ultras, I transitioned to topos. I've worn ons, I've worn Hokas, like I don't know, whatever. And a lot of it for me was I guess I would navigate what shoes I would wear based off of price because I'm a normal person and I'm
so
not independently wealthy. And so, yeah. And so I had heard of Norda and I'd heard really good things about them, but like that price was a lot. I thought. And so I was introduced to Norda by one of their shoe reps, who's like kind of a friend of mine. He basically just like texted me and was like, "I am sending you a pair of shoes." Not like, "Hey, do you want to try some?" Like, nope, I'm just gonna send them to you, and like confirm your address and your shoe size. And so I was like, "Okay, whatever." And so I tried them, and I mean, immediately they were the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn, which is saying something because I've worn a lot of shoes. Um, so I really like that. I also really like that they don't have plates in them.
oh, okay.
They have like, and I'm not a gear person, so I don't know the drop and I don't know anything.
Yeah, I couldn't tell
Um,
you
I don't
any of
know.
mine.
I don't know. They're fine. I don't know. But yeah, they don't have plates in them, and I'm a physical therapist by profession, I guess, in my like former life. Um, and I don't know if I trust plates. I'm sure they're fine, but like I've heard stories of people getting injured because of plate related things. And so like and Topo is the shoe that I wore the most, I would say, and they never had plates in them, I don't think. I'm pretty sure they're a plateless shoe. Um and yeah, just like it gives you a little bit more control over your speed and like ground feel and all that stuff. And so I immediately appreciated that too, but they still have a really nice bounce. And I think it's because of the fancy foam that they have. And I mean, and again, normal person. So for me, like price, okay, they're still $300 shoes. So like, what are we doing here? And so for me, I've been tracking my shoes. Yeah, I've been tracking my shoes for the first time ever on Strava. I like put the miles on the actual shoe. Um, and I've gotten actually I don't quite remember what the number is, but I would say probably 650 miles
Oh, wow.
on a pair. And like I just started wearing, and my favorite shoe is actually the 002, which is not a popular Norda shoe, but I love it. The 005 and 001s are the more popular ones, but I love the 002. It's like the best, in my opinion. But I started transitioning into a new pair of 002s, and I could not tell the difference. So
Wow.
yeah, I mean they're 650 miles in, and like they still feel just as bouncy and springy, and like they look pretty much brand new. There's a little bit of wear around the heel collar, but I mean other than that, like I mean the outsole or whatever looks great. Like the sole of the shoe still is good. Like they're awesome. So I mean, I guess that's like a good because I've bought different shoes and worn them for 100-mile race and they're trashed and they have holes in them and all sorts of stuff. So if you're going to spend money on a shoe, I mean, I think it's great that they last that long because it decreases the amount of shoes that you have to produce and then like you're throwing away shoes and so it just overall like decreases the clutter that we do in the world. So I think that's the sustainability part was really nice. So yeah, I mean, I like them. I wish they would. And this is something I've talked with the athlete manager about a little bit, or the sales reps about a little bit. But like, I wish they would do more, like fleets of shoes for like demo runs. Because it is. I
Oh,
mean, I
yeah.
think that's biggest thing is like if you got to try it, then you would see. It's just like not a lot of stores sell them, and they don't do necessarily a ton of like demo runs. But I mean, yeah, as soon as I put it on my foot, I was like, this is exciting because like this is a comfortable shoe and like they look good. Like they're very stylish and they come in like fun colors and stuff. So yeah, I've enjoyed kind of getting to try all the different ones. And I mean, I'm pretty sure you could put them in a blender and they'd like be fine. They're really hard to like, yeah, they're a challenge to mess up, I guess. So
yeah, that's compelling. I mean, at least if like, I mean, same. I'm like a budget. I'm a budget runner. It's like, so I just kind of have to buy whatever is cheap. It's like I
yeah,
literally will buy. I buy a lot of my shoes from like a discount. It's like relay goods or whatever. So like you
yeah,
can literally just like find a shoe that someone didn't like and they return them. That's usually what I
yeah.
do. So it'd be kind of, but I'm like cranking through shoes like every other
Well,
month or
I
whatever.
mean, honestly, it is a big investment, but like, I really have loved them. They are a little weird with sizing. They encourage most of the time they encourage you to go up a half a size. I actually go up a full size because I
Oh,
like a little bit more room in my shoe. But yeah, I've been very impressed with them.
oh, cool.
Yeah, but if you get, I mean, like I said, I'm gonna put in a special plug for the 002. I think it's great. I think it's the most comfortable shoe they have. But whatever,
So
I'm in the minority.
yeah, yeah. So what's it like transitioning from like having like a regular job, I guess, to like being a pro
This,
athlete now?
yeah,
Yeah. You know,
yeah, it's freaking great, actually.
it's great.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I think the biggest change for me has just been like not having to cram training in. Like I can go running when I want to. I'm not having to run when I'm tired, like after work or before work or whatever. Like I can, I'll like look at the weather and be like, oh, it looks nice at 10 a.m. I'll go running then. Like it's great. Like this is the dream.
That's
Um,
rad.
yeah,
That's
it's
so cool.
I'm very grateful that it's all come together. I did not even think this was possible. But yeah, so that's been really nice. And then having support around going to events is really nice too. And then, yeah, I mean, I guess like the biggest thing too has just been like recovery after races. Like today, I mean, like I did, like I said, I did another podcast, but like other than that, like I was in bed reading a book until like 10 a.m. And then I
Oh hell yeah.
did some segments and like I did a little trail run. It was great. Like my life is like a dream. It's pretty sick. And I'm not foolish enough to think that I'm going to be able to do this forever. So I'm there for a while. I felt kind of guilty about all of it. Like, oh, why me? Like I'm not whatever. But it's like I've stopped asking why, and I'm just like, cool, it's me, and I'm going to take advantage of it.
Hell
So yeah,
yeah.
it's a cheat code for sure. It's been really nice.
That's so rad. Well, it's to me, it sounds like it's well deserved. I mean, you've been crushing it, putting in like the work. But I guess I'm curious, like, sorry, did you have like a moment before you were like a signed athlete, like a pro athlete? Did you have like a moment you're like, this might actually be like a thing? Like, when did that like when did it
Yeah.
settle in? You're like, holy shit, this is like this is what I do now.
Yeah. I think I realized that something could happen after Cocodona in 24. Because I got a little bit more traction online. And I always had like local status. So like when I was living in Seattle and I was like, if I showed up to a race, like people would know who I was. Like when I showed up to I Am Tough, people were like, oh, cool. And like going to Cascade Crest and like Plain and all these like small, like old school races, like most people would usually straight up tell me that they thought I was going to win, which is funny. But but yeah, and so after Cocodona, it was like, oh crap, like I like and again got a lot of traction and like a lot of media stuff. Nothing like this year, but it was more than I'd ever received, and so I thought, maybe I can get something to happen, and then I tried, but I was working full time and I was a director of oncology rehabilitation at the time. And it was just like, I don't have time to like, I mean, honestly, getting sponsored is almost a full-time job in and of itself. Because you just like have to meet with people all the time, and you have to like, I went to TrailCon this year and like got to meet a bunch of people, and that making connections really has been helpful. And I just didn't have time to do that when I was working full time. So yeah, I spent kind of a year just being really frustrated that like nothing was really happening, and I didn't really understand why. And then after Cocodona this year, it was like, okay, like I have traction, and like something like if something doesn't happen now, it's like a systemic problem more than it is like something about me. Um, and I was doing a travel therapy contract that ended in June, and so I was able to spend all summer like going to the right races and meeting all the right people, and like um, I was able to sign up for things like Mammoth because like I hadn't booked another job yet because I was waiting to see if something would happen on the running front. Um, and so then when something did, it was like cool. Like I don't even have to put in my notice because I'm like I was waiting for this. Um, so yeah, but it's whew, getting trying to get a sponsored position as a runner is like not for the weak. It was pretty. I had some sad, frustrating conversations with like a lot. Because yeah, I mean he's been in my corner, and like it really is not just about the results that you have, but about like who you know, which is really annoying. So anyway, I don't know. That's why I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to almost. I can't remember. It's not Peter. Oh, like Robin Hood. Like, all right, like okay, well I'm here now, and so like I will connect you to whoever it is that you want to be connected to, because like I'll help you out, kind of thing. Because it really is extremely hard to like know who the right people to like. Hi, Mr. Hoka. Like, would you like to like? No, that's not how any of this. Like, your email is not getting read. I have a lot of unread emails that I've sent to brand reps or whatever before I finally was able to like find the person who could connect me to the right individual. So yeah.
That felt for sure. It's like obviously I'm not coming from like the athlete perspective, but like trying to do that with like like a platform is the same thing.
Yeah.
I've sent a lot of emails that I've been ghosted like a bunch of
Oh
times. So
yeah. Yeah. I mean,
it's fine.
it's insane. Yeah, it's insane. Um, so yeah, and again, I mean, I've had people that have obviously like searched me out in particular. Actually, I think every brand that I'm with, they approached me instead of vice versa. And so that's been nice. Because obviously you want to work with somebody who actually is invested in like who you are, and like it's hard to, or at least I found it really hard to like pitch myself, because it's like, well, what, like, here's my ultra sign up, like what do you want from me? I don't know, like here's a couple interviews I did, I don't know. um so yeah, it's nice when you can kind of skip that step, because like, oh well, we already know what you're all about, we already accept that that's who you are, and like we want to work with you. It's like, oh cool. um yeah, now I just need to know who you are so that I can like decide that for myself too.
So like I bet you're just like riding the high off of that. Does it feel real at all? Like
Yeah, it is insane. I still kind of can't believe that like this gets to be my life for however long I can ride it out. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I love physical therapy and I will be excited to go back to that. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is fantastic. I mean, I just get to go outside and play like all day. It's great. Yeah,
same.
it does not feel real. Yeah.
That's so cool. Like so um obviously like my understanding is you don't really have like a strict approach to like training. Like did you prior? Like do you like did you prior to being a signed athlete, or do you now? Like
No, I
okay.
don't have anything. I mean, I think probably back in like 2018, I started just kind of like running 70 miles a week on average. Obviously, like some weeks I would not, whatever. But for the most part, I would say like we'll call it 48 out of 52 weeks, I would get 70 miles or more. And so that built a really strong base, I guess. And I've really kind of done that since, probably. I mean, obviously there will be weeks like after Mammoth or after Cocodona, like I'm not doing squat. Like I'll go run if I want to. But the only rule I really have is that during a race, however many nights of sleep that I miss is how many weeks of training I don't track or like I don't care about. So like for Cocodona, the first year I was out for 3 days, and so for 3 weeks I like if I get outside and go for a run, like great, like it's all good. But then at that 4th week, it was like okay, like I should probably start trying to like move a little bit faster, go over a terrain that's a little bit harder, like whatever, train, quote unquote. But yeah, I really don't follow like a specific training plan. I never have. Training plans to me just feel like, I don't know, like something that I could just fail at. Like if you mess up, then like you're just doomed for the rest of the week. And I've like off and on coached people. And I try to give them a lot of flexibility with like, all right, hey, like here, because that's what works best for me is flexibility. Yeah. And so it's like, all right, hey, like I think this week you should probably get somewhere between 55 and 65 miles. 2 of those runs should be 20 miles or greater. And then 1 of those runs should be fast. Like everything else, I don't care. Like just get out there, have fun, do whatever you want. It's kind of, and that's, I mean, kind of how I approach my own training is like, so I'm doing Chianti in a couple months, which burrito segments are unfortunately not doing anything for me with Chianti because it's quite hilly and it's quite technical from what I've heard. So probably like next week, I think I'll probably start trying to actually like, okay, like I need to start doing, and I'm not interested in like doing hill repeat because that sounds terrible, but like I'll find routes that have a lot of climbing and descending and have technical trails, and like I'll just try to simulate what I know about the course as best I can. That's kind of how I train, I guess.
Cool. Yeah, I had a coach one time, and it just like felt like it was like obligatory. I was like, all right, maybe this isn't for me. So same thing. I just kind of like I just have like what I want to run every week. I try to keep like a nice consistent thing, and like and then it dawned on me today that I've got like a really hard 50 miler coming up. So I was like, well, I should maybe throw in some hill repeats. So I didn't like I did the dreaded hill repeats, but yeah, I just
I will do. I've actually started doing speed work with a group of ladies. The women of the Sawatch have a speed work group, and I've loved it. But I am not doing speed work by myself ever. Like you will not. No, it will be a sad day when I'm doing speed work by myself. Like it is just way more fun with friends, I think.
Yeah, I have to like bribe myself to do. What I'll do is I'll like put like gummy if I'm on the treadmill, I'll do like gummy clusters. So each gummy cluster is for a interval.
Nice. Yeah, I just eat the gummy clusters and don't do
just eat them all. Just eat them all and go.
But yeah, I mean, there is something much more fun about speed work when you're doing it with people, because then too you have kind of a comparison of like, because Addie Bracy, who's a really talented, like going to states this year and like got a golden ticket at Javelina, like that caliber runner, like she's in this group, and so it's like, okay, like objectively Addie is fast, so like I'll just try to stay in like spitting distance of Addie and like or like keep up with Addie if I can, and like there's my objective read. So yeah, I think it's been really nice having a group to do that in. Because yeah, that was my first speed workout ever was like 6 weeks ago. I'd never done a speed workout ever. And now I've done like 5 of them, and it's really fun.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I'll do the same. I'll link up with like a road running group here. That's like the only time that I'm usually like struggling to keep up with the roadies, but it's same thing. I just started doing speed work. I was like, all right, maybe it's time to like try to learn some turnover finally.
Yeah. And I do think that running with people who are faster than you is a good well, it's either a good way to get injured or a good way to get faster. Like obviously don't go do, like if I were to go running with people who are doing a 5:50 pace, like I'm getting injured. But like if I'm going running with people who are like, who can make a 7:10 pace, like fun, like that's excellent. Like that's gonna get me faster. And if I'm feeling good on a run and I want to bust out like a fast downhill, like great, that counts. Like you don't have to dedicate a session to speed. Like I think you can throw it in if you're feeling yourself on a run, and like it all counts. Everything matters. Yeah.
Something I'm curious about before, like when you were still working like a day job, because that's where I am. I guess a lot of us are. I mean, like
Yeah.
95+% of us are doing that. Um, how like you're doing multi-day stuff, and I guess I'm curious, like how
How
were
did I do
you?
it? Is
Yeah,
that the
how are you?
question?
Yeah, how are you sneaking all this training in, working
God.
like a 9 to 5?
Yeah. It was hard, for sure. So, I work in healthcare, and so typically you can have a not normal like 9 to 5 schedule. Like you can do 4:10s or
Okay.
whatever. And so typically, my favorite schedule as a healthcare provider is I'll do 3 11-hour days and then a 6 hour day. It's perfect.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And so what I would do is, so Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday were my long work days. And I had Tuesdays off. So Monday I would just take Mondays off running, because like chances are good I'm doing something insane over the weekend, and like I love off days. So I would take Monday off and I would just work and like get my shit together for the week and like whatever. And then Tuesdays I would like sleep in a little bit and then go for a longer run. So somewhere usually in the ballpark of like 3.5 to 4 hours. So depending on technicality or speed or whatever, it could be anywhere between like 18 and 25 miles. So like that's good. That's a nice chunk. And then Wednesday or Thursday, I would pick one day and I would wake up at 4:30 and I would do 10 miles of like, and it would usually be with like a faster friend, like a road runner. Um, and yeah, I would go and I would do, usually it was like 7 to 10 miles. Um, and then whatever other day, so either the Wednesday or Thursday, I would take that day off. And then Friday I would get off at 2. I would do maybe like a 3 hour run. And then Saturday and Sunday I would just like fill in with whatever I wanted to do. So it's doable, but it is hard to have a
Yeah.
social life. Like if your friends aren't runners, it's not easy.
Yeah, I basically don't think I have one anymore outside of people who are
Yeah,
also runners.
yeah,
And now with all state training, it's just like, well, I guess I'll see you all maybe in like August.
yeah,
So
exactly. And
if
I
you
mean,
need me.
yeah, and I mean, I would always tell myself that one weekend out of the month I would stay in Los Angeles and I would sleep at my house.
Ah,
Because a lot of the times, like, I would go off to the Sierra or I'd go up to Ojai and I would go to Ventura and I would like do things and I would stay the night there because it just made more sense. But yeah, I mean, like one weekend a month, I would just stay local and like, I'd still go for my 4 or 5 hour run, but like I was getting to come back home, and so I could clean and I could hang out with the cats and like see people, like I could maintain friendships, which is important, especially with people who aren't runners. Like everybody has friends that are runners or not. But yeah, and that was kind of the compromise that I gave myself. But I mean, it worked. It was hard, but it was the right call. I mean, it made, especially having a day early in the week, like having that Tuesday off was awesome because it's like, cool, I can bust out like a decent chunk of mileage right here. Um, and then if you're doing like two back-to-back 20-mile days, if you're training for like a multi-day thing, if you're doing like two back-to-back long runs, and like now all you have to do is somewhere just fit in a 8 to 10 mile run and like you're set. So yeah, it's manageable. It's manageable.
yeah.
I prefer this way. This way is much. I get to sleep a lot more. I was not sleeping very much at all in my old life. So this way is much better. Yeah.
Yeah, you said something that kind of struck me. I was like listening to your interview on the Single Track podcast, and you were just like, it's funny because like part of my training for, well, not just Vol State, just part of my like normal weekly mileage is I run commute to work. And you were like, you just, I'm paraphrasing what you said on Finn's show, but it was like, you just have to get in the training when you have the time. And I was just
Yeah.
like, yeah. So it was just like, okay, that's what this is, right? It looks crazy to like on the outside looking in. I'm sure like some weirdo like running through town with a backpack everywhere, but it's just like this
There's
is how I
weirder
have to
stuff.
get it in.
Yeah. I mean, especially, I think the cool thing about multi-day and maybe 100 miler, like if it's your first 100 miler, like the cool thing about that is like it all counts. Like learning to run when it's the last thing you want to do is a very valuable skill to be good at, I guess. Because I mean, I guarantee you, at mile 75 of your first 100 miler, like you don't want to run. Like you're so tired, and like this is so dumb, but like you still have to go a marathon to get to the finish line, and like I don't know if you practice that. Obviously, I don't endorse like doing a 100 miler before your 100 miler and like practice training or whatever, but like running when you don't want to is a really good thing to practice. So yeah, whether it's waking up at 4 in the morning and going for a run or run commuting and then having to do it going back home, like that, it all counts. So
Yeah, there's been like at least like today, I just like did. I was like, I could just get in my car and just drive to work. I was like, I did not want to do it at all. So I was just like, all right, like this is just what we do now. So
yep, yeah, there were
so yeah,
many 4:15 wake up calls that I was like, I could just text and be like, sorry, I can't come, I'm sick, or I don't feel like it. But I mean, there's a lot of power in making the choice to do it anyway. And I never once was like, oh, I wish I hadn't done that. Like every time I'm done, I'm like, oh, that was
oh
great.
yeah,
Like I'm so glad that I did that. So yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean, obviously, listen to your body. If you're there, I think there was like one or two times when like I woke up and I was like, I'm exhausted. Like this is not going to be productive. I'm not. I don't need to do this. Like I'm gonna text and say like, sorry, I really need to sleep, and like it's gonna be fine. But yeah, I mean, I would say if you keep doing that, then you probably need to analyze something. Yeah. I tell people that like I coach, it's like, if you have 1 week of training where it's like, it's not, you didn't hit your numbers and like you didn't even come close, like that's okay. But if you have 2 weeks, then like we really need to like, what is it that you actually want? Because like now we're going into week 3 and like you've done 2 15-mile weeks, and like is running something that you need to prioritize right now? Like, do you have something going on in your life that you need to that's like taking up your energy? So yeah, I have like like on the third strike. We're not even
that's a
getting
lot.
to the third strike, but like on when we're about to hit the third strike, like, hey, like what's going on here? We need to figure this out. So
Yeah, and sometimes it's just like if your running's falling flat, just having like a little reset is nice. But I
yeah.
mean, yeah, absolutely. So I'm curious, is there so as you've been transitioning to like full-time athlete, is there something that you like have you is there anything that you've learned about yourself or like about the process of running or anything that you've had to like unlearn about like training and nutrition and all that stuff as you made the shift to pro?
Um, I think the biggest, it wasn't really like I would say that learning this probably helped me become pro, perhaps. But the biggest thing for me was like I was chronically underfueling during runs. And even still during my training, like I should fuel way more than I do during my training runs. But I mean, even during races, like I mean, it was pathetic, honestly. Like I would just drink water or like maybe some Gatorade, but like I don't know anything about electrolytes. And like I'm certainly not someone now who's gonna like track my carbs per hour or whatever. But yeah, I think one big thing, I partnered with Precision during it was like January of this year because I knew that Cocodona was coming up or I guess of last year. So January of 25 was when I was like, hey, I need help because I'm doing Cocodona and I'm racing Courtney Walter and I don't want to look like an idiot. So like, how do I like I suck at fueling and like you guys don't. So like, tell me what to do, and I'll try to do it. And yeah, like figuring out, or I guess like taking in so much more than I had previously. Really, I mean, it gives you more energy. So like, you don't feel crappy. Like I had a hideous bonk in Cocodona in 24 around mile 125. Um, and I found out later that it's because Spring Energy actually doesn't have any calories in it. And that was what I was primarily fueling on. But kind of same point. Like I was under fueling, and so I had this terrible bonk, and like it took me like 8 hours to get out of it. And I also messed up my electrolytes, and it was like this whole chaotic situation. And then this year, like flawless. Like my
Oh,
execution of
nice.
my nutrition plan was flawless, and I started to hit one low point right at mile 250. And Cocodona this year was 256 miles. So it
Oh,
wasn't even,
perfect timing.
yeah, it was not over. And there was one, and I just like none of my food that I was carrying, I was just so tired of it. And like, just I want like I wanted like a hot thing. Um, and we finally made it to the aid station. And I was just like, grilled cheese, like, I need a grilled cheese. And I just like sat there, and there's all these people because like I'm about to finish this race. And there's just like a billion people at the aid station, and they're all like asking me these questions, and like there's cameras in my face, and I'm just like shoving a grilled cheese. Um, and it was extremely funny because my pacer was like shoving a grilled cheese into his mouth, and so we both are just like laughing with grilled cheese, like. But yeah, but I think the fueling piece is something, especially as women. I think we tend to chronically underfuel. So if you're finding that you're tired during runs or tired during life, chances are that you're probably low in iron, but also like not fueling enough to sustain the output that you're capable of. So yeah, that's been something I've been really happy to, and I'm not even close to, I don't think, done, but I'm getting better.
Yeah.
And I've seen a big increase in what I've been able to like do as a result of fueling more. So
Yeah.
yeah, eat
Yeah.
your gels or whatever.
That's
I
been
think gels are gross,
yeah.
but
Yeah, that's been a struggle of mine. Like something that I've had like learned a lot of hard lessons. Like, I've some DNFs over nutrition and stuff, but like I went into running as like a vehicle for weight loss, and now it's like, you know, gone way past that. It's really hard to like break that like mindset.
yeah,
Like, fueling and eating correct. Like you're supposed to eat so you can run farther and run better. But so
yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah. Our bodies are
it's
weird.
like a
Our
weird
brains
you
are
have to
even
do.
weird.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is, and I have a history of using running for weight loss also. Like when I was in high school, I was like pretty anorexic, and I used exercise as a means to like control my weight. And so, yeah, I feel you. Like that is a really hard thing to break. Um, but yeah, I mean, for me, it's only proven to be extremely beneficial. Like I can run faster, I can run faster for longer, and I feel stronger. So yeah, it's learning to eat. 10 stars.
Okay. What's like the wildest thing you've ever had at an aid station?
I just
I'll
answered
share
this
mine after you
question.
share yours.
Yeah, I just
Grilled
answered.
cheese. Okay.
I got you.
Okay.
No, I mean, I answered it earlier today. So
Oh,
the best thing, I'll tell you the best thing, and I'll tell you the weirdest thing.
okay.
The best thing I've ever had was it was like a tortilla that had the risotto rice in it.
Oh,
So it was like creamier rice or whatever, like the round rice. So it had that. It smashed avocado was like mixed into the rice, and
ooh.
then
Okay.
coarse salt, and it was all
Damn.
wrapped up in a little. It was the bomb. It was amazing. Yeah, that was the best, hands down, thing I've ever had in the aid
Wow.
station. A little bit weird too, because like that rice was kind of odd, but it was amazing. It was like creamy and good.
Damn.
Um, yeah, bomb.
Yeah.
And then the weirdest thing I've ever had at Cocodona this year. and actually had a lot of races since because it was amazing. I had some Taco Bell burritos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had some. I'm vegetarian, so I had
Same.
bean, cheese, and onion burritos from Taco Bell with like some mild sauce, that hot sauce. Oh,
Damn.
it was in, and that's a risky move. Like Taco Bell,
Big time.
I understood. I understood the risk, but it was like awesome. I wound up having, I think, 3 burritos. Like I got to the aid station at like mile 230 or something like that. And my mom had gone to Taco Bell and gotten quesadillas and burritos, and she was like, "Yeah, like whatever." And I was like, "All right, like I'll bring one with me." And so I brought one with me and I ate it, and I was like, at the next aid station, I was like, "Yo, you got me them burritos? Like, I want another burrito." And so I ate at the next 2 aid stations. I got burritos at each one and just ate them on the course. It was awesome.
Oh,
It
that
was
sounds amazing.
yeah, it was.
Yeah, Taco Bell bean burritos. Just like I always have like a rule. Like after I run an ultra, I'll have 2 bean burritos and a black bean crunch wrap. That's like,
Dog,
oh
those are
yeah,
so good.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my god,
those are
that's like
so the black
insane
yeah,
thing. I
the
just like
black bean crunch
hammer it
wrap
with
is
fire sauce.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
good. Our closest Taco Bell's in Leadville, so it's like an hour away.
damn.
Really frustrating, I know. But all right, what's your weird aid
Oh,
station?
okay. It was well. It covers. Oh, I got 2 things.
Okay.
One was something I brought, but the first one is like the weirdest thing, and it happened to be the best thing. I did a backyard ultra 2 years ago, and they had like Chaos Crewing came there, and they had like these cheese pierogies, and same thing. Yeah, I'm like not full vegan, but I don't usually do dairy, so it was like
Yeah.
kind of a risk to do cheese at this thing, but I basically ate those. I used those for like 25 miles, which
Oh,
was insane, but and it was amazing. It was like the best thing I ever had. It was like really cold and they were hot and like
yeah.
steamy and cheesy
Pierogies
and
are
melty.
pierogies are what's up. Yeah.
Yeah, it just like
I'll usually do the potato ones, but
it blew my mind. I was just
yeah,
like I was like this is the best thing I've ever had.
yeah.
And then I did another backyard like later on that year, and there's a like a cake company down the street from my house that had Harry Potter themed macarons, and I bought
Oh,
like 20 of those things, but then I forgot about it, and I was like going through my kit in between laps, and I was like, holy shit, I forgot about these. So I was
oh,
like, I was like sharing with my neighbors. So that might be like the weirdest thing, and the best thing was like the pierogi, but like the best thing, probably the weirdest thing also was
well, I mean,
I
a macaron
yeah,
is like brilliant because it's just sugar.
it's
Like,
pure sugar. Like
and
that's
they're
all it
really
is.
like they're not super dense either. So like that would probably be
No,
really nice. Yeah.
yeah, they're like nice and fluffy and crisp, and yeah,
What do you remember what
I was
flavor?
really
Were they like
popular
milk
for a while.
flavor? I bet you were.
They were like they were like butter beer or something because it was
Oh,
like Harry Potter themed. Yeah,
well,
yeah, they were
full Harry
fire.
Potter themed. Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool. Just don't get the vomit flavored one.
yeah,
Dirty
yeah,
black bean.
yeah. That's cool. That's rad. So something I'm curious about because running is like the common thread, but I want to know what's something about you that you would like to share with us that's like not even running related about you.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm a multifaceted individual. I love to play the piano. Um,
Oh, cool.
yeah, I play the piano. I have been playing now probably since I was like 10. I've never had lessons. I took flute and oboe lessons in like middle and high school, I guess. Um, but growing up, we always had a piano, like just a standard upright wooden out of tune piano. And my mom knew like 2 Eric Clapton songs on the piano, and she would
Wow.
teach them to me, or she taught them to me, and so I would just play them everywhere, and everybody thought it was so cool. And then when I was in college, I dated a piano teacher, and I dabbled in playing piano myself, but he was so good that I like was intimidated and I just like refused to play. And then as soon as we broke up, I was like, just kidding, I'm playing the piano again. And so I got actually like I kind of like learned through osmosis, I guess, through a lot of what he was like doing and playing. Because yeah, I was probably like 24 when I really got into playing the piano. But yeah, I play pretty much exclusively by ear.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of my favorite hobbies, and I'm excited because I'm traveling so much more now, is there are pianos in airports sometimes. Like LAX has one in Terminal 7, and Santa Barbara has an incredible piano down by baggage claim or whatever. And yeah, you can just like play them. It's pretty sick. And so, yeah, one of my favorite things to do is like play all the pianos in the airports. So,
That's cool.
yeah. So yeah, I like to play the piano. It's pretty fun.
I definitely feel like I saw a piano in the airport in Rhode Island, if I remember correctly.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
There's a website actually, but it's not always up to
Is
date.
there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's like pianosinairports.com or something, but it's worldwide. I mean, it has a bunch listed, but yeah, I think there's a couple that I've been to. Um, oh yeah, there was one in gosh, Asheville's airport. I think has a piano too.
Okay.
Yeah, and I flew into that airport specifically because I had like a choice between a couple airports, and I looked on the website and I was like, oh, they have a piano. I'll just go there. So yeah, but yeah, there's a website somewhere out there that has.
That's rad.
Yeah,
I'll have to see if Indianapolis has one. So what? But also, my question is, what Clapton songs?
Um, gosh,
Do you,
I don't even know now.
okay.
I can still play it. I don't remember. I don't think it's Layla, but it might be. There's like an ending piano riff in one of his songs.
Yeah.
It might be Layla, but I can play that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean I could probably if I listen to a song, I can probably learn enough of it for it to be passable.
That's so cool.
But then probably like 10 minutes, I would say.
I've always wanted to learn piano. I like been like half-ass okay at guitar at times in my life, and never.
Yeah.
Still, it's just like, oh, I'm an admirer, but I just can't play.
Yeah. Well, I tried to learn.
Not good.
Yeah. When I was in college, I tried to learn how to play the bass guitar because I thought it would be so funny if I played the bass guitar. Like, that'd be ridiculous. And I was going to a church that had one bass guitar player and like 100 piano players. So it's like, well, I am not necessary here, but like if I learned how to play another thing, like I could be helpful. And I took bass lessons for like a month, and I was like, the hand being, I just could not. I couldn't do it. So I was like, all right, I quit. I could tell the guy was really sad, but I don't know. Piano is good. I like piano. It was fun. So
yeah, that's
but yeah,
so cool.
I mean,
like,
yeah, you can. Yeah, I think once you kind of figure out, it probably took me a year, and again, no lessons. I'm just like poking around on it. It took me probably a year of like watching. There's a couple couple YouTube channels where like they'll highlight the keys you're supposed to play. And I would like, I'd try to do it on my own at first. And then I just like, if I didn't understand or if I couldn't figure out what key it was in or whatever, I'd go and I would look at those and I would like figure it out. But yeah, I mean, it really has been fun to like, the more I practice, the better I get. Obviously, that's how practice works usually. So it's been really fun to like hone that skill over the years. And it's a really nice compliment, I think, to running because like it works such a different part of your brain, and it also works your arms. Like if I don't play for a while and then I go and I play the piano, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't even get through a song because my forearm like burn. So
and you probably can't really master it either. Kind of like I feel like you can never master like ultra running. So I bet
yeah,
piano's like the same way, right?
probably. Yeah. There's always someone who's better than
Always
you.
somebody, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, there's plenty of people better than me at both. Like, let me be very clear. But I think in both of them, I've gotten to a point where it's like, all right, I'm really happy with like the level that I'm at. Like, I'm obviously going to keep practicing and I'm going to keep like striving to do better. But yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, they're kind of learning a skill is complementary in that way where it's like, once you reach a certain place where it's like, all right, like I'm competent. So like, how do I get better? That's a fun place to be. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So okay, I don't want to take up a whole lot of your time. I know we're like already running past. Hopefully, you're not in a big hurry. But
Yeah.
do you have any like bucket list? I hate saying like bucket list because it's like
Races,
I
that
don't
kind
know.
of thing.
Yeah. Do you have any like a list? Like what would be like if tomorrow ultra sign up was like you can sign up for any race you want to, like what would that be?
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Like old or new, I guess.
I
If we
think
open it up for that.
I think Hard Rock would be really cool.
Hard Rock.
Especially if Ultra Sign Up broke and it was just like free for all. You can sign up for it. I would sign up for that one for sure. Because I mean, yeah, I like high altitude. I like climbing. I like I like big mountains. And that's like the big mountain race in the States. And I went last year and I spectated it for the first time in person, and it was just like, this is dope. I love this. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's incredibly hard to get into. So whatever. But yeah, I think that would be the one that I would try to hack the system and get into for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of like the trans race, like across the islands, like Transvolcania and Trans Gran Canaria. Like those seem really cool. And like what a fun map to like on your Strava, you're just raging across this island like that. I'm definitely intrigued by those where you're like, where the course is something where it's like, yeah, you're going from here to there. Like that makes sense to me. Um, so those races seem really, or like UTMB, where it's like, all right, you're going around mountain. Like, cool. That makes sense. It doesn't feel contrived. Um, so yeah, and then there is a race that I'm hoping I get to do next year, called the Snowman Race. It's in Bhutan, which is like a little tiny country over in like near India and Nepal.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but it is along. It's like this. I think it's called the Snowman Route, but yeah, it's a stage race, and it's quite high. Like you get to a pass that's at 19K.
Wow. Dang.
And
Okay.
that seems sick. And Bhutan is in general is a really interesting country. Like they have, I can't remember the exact term, but it's like a happiness index. It's like something that their government like keeps. I don't know, like notes on like how happy are the people in this country, and they're the only carbon negative country. Um,
Oh, cool.
so yeah, anyway, the king of Bhutan actually invented this race, and invites people to do it every other year. And I put my name in the hat for this. It will be happening in October of this year. So I put my name in the
Cool.
hat, hoping that I get picked because I think that'd be sick.
That sounds super rad.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
So 19,000 feet, you don't have. Well, no, that's a stupid question. I was thinking like you don't have to have like
No, you
oxygen,
don't need
right?
like
No,
oxygen
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's. I
I
mean,
guess I'm not
it'll
even
suck.
sure.
I'm sure
Okay.
it'll suck.
Yeah.
But I
I'm a
mean,
flatlander, so I don't know what that
yeah,
number is.
yeah.
But I'm
I mean, I love altitude now. I mean, I've lived at 8,500.
okay.
Currently I live at about 7. Um, but yeah, I love living at altitude. I think it's pretty fun. And like getting up to 14,000 feet, I'm like having a full conversation, and people behind me are like, "What are you doing? Like we can't even breathe." So I think I tolerate altitude pretty well.
Oh, cool.
But I mean, 19K, I can't even imagine. Like that's insane.
God.
So
I would assume I would probably have to like acclimate for like I think Indiana is like 3 feet
oh
above sea
yeah,
level. Yeah.
yeah, that's not you probably need to do something. But I know with that race you go over, you're there for like 3 weeks. The race itself is only 5 days. So you really get to like embed yourself in the community and the culture, and I've talked to people who have done it before, and they've like only described it fondly. And so it's like, all right, this sounds cool. I'm in.
Yeah, it sounds more like a journey than like a
Yeah.
race, and that's kind of yeah.
Yeah,
That sounds really cool.
it seems similar almost to like the Barkley, where it's like it doesn't matter how you finish, it just matters that you do. Like no
Oh,
one wins.
nice.
It's just like you get there. And like cuz I mean the DNF rate is pretty high. I mean it's a tough Bhutan is a tough, place. So, like it's usually muddy, and obviously it's like 14,000 feet average, the altitude. So it's like hard. Um, but yeah, it matters so much more that you actually like complete it than it does, or like honestly that you try. Because even the people that like don't finish usually wind up like loving the experience anyway. So yeah.
outside of like racing, like where's your favorite trail, like with no racing involved at all, just to go like explore and like just
Okay,
have fun?
got
Yeah.
you. I got you. So Anderson Pass is in the Olympic Peninsula. There's two ways. It's actually the shortest route across the Olympic National Park. I think it's 70. That might be wrong. I think it is like 60 or 70 miles. But yeah, so I would do the western side is called Enchanted Valley. And it's a haul to get there. I mean, it was like a 5 hour drive from Seattle,
Okay.
but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I've done it in every season, including winter. But yeah, you're right next to this incredible river. It's like crystal blue and beautiful. And then you are by it for like 20 miles, and you get into this valley
Oh,
that's just
nice.
nuts. And there's a chalet in there, and it's ridiculous. It's all ridiculous. Um, so that's the one side, and then the other side I think it's called Kill Scene, but I can't remember. Um, but you go, it's like a 30 something mile. But I mean, both directions are like a gradual uphill, and you wind up getting like probably 5 or 6 thousand feet of climbing, but like it does not feel. It's like vert's not real, kind of climbing. Like it's so much fun. That is my favorite trail, and I don't know. It's easy to get to, I guess, relatively. And then I think that like I've backpacked in there too with people who weren't trail runners, and it's just a crowd pleaser. Like anybody can do it. The trail is perfect. It's like buffed out and wonderful. Um, so yeah, that's a great spot. Washington has some incredible trails. Um, so that's one of my favorites. And then
Yeah.
anything along the Eastern Sierra corridor too is in California is incredible. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? You know, it's like when the vert doesn't exist, that just like speaks to probably how beautiful the area is
yeah,
for sure. But yeah,
yeah. Well, it's
I need
also
to come
just
out that way.
yeah. It's I mean it the Olympic Peninsula is next level awesome. So yeah, highly recommend checking it out.
I
Never go.
like
Let me
I
know. I'll give you some Rex.
yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, like I don't travel too far like the Midwest, like Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky area. But now that my distance has gone longer, it's like I'm looking a little bit further and further outside
Yeah,
of
you got
like
to come
my
out
normal
west.
perimeter. Yeah,
Come
I
out
need to see
west.
mountains really bad. So
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's really fun out here. Um, yeah, I think High Lonesome is a race that's actually like right out my window, basically. Um, I did it for the first time last year, but it's like such a fun community of people, and the mountains are spectacular, and the course is just like jaw droppingly beautiful. But yeah, it's you definitely vert is very real at High Lonesome, but you are rewarded for your efforts. So, yeah, it's. I mean, I've been really lucky to choose to live in really pretty states. So, yeah, I have like recommendations for pretty much any state I've ever lived in. So if you ever go to California, Washington, or Colorado, let me know. I got you.
cool. Yeah. Heck yeah! If you ever need any Midwest trails,
Got
we
it.
we
Thank
did
you.
we just our trails are amazing, and like I mean we have like Indiana does have really technical trails,
Yeah,
especially like if I drive about 2 hours south, like the Knobstone or like Jackson, Washington State Forest,
yeah,
but it's just roots and single track, and you
yeah,
don't see it's just like a dense canopy, so you don't get to see like the views like you would anywhere else. But we do have some legit stuff, but
yeah.
um,
I've heard Michigan is like supposed to be gorgeous.
yeah,
I went to Detroit, and I loved Detroit. I thought Detroit was amazing. And then I went and I took a road trip up to Toronto, and I stopped in um, Point Pele, I think it's called, National Park, and like that was dope. So yeah, I mean I'm not doing the Midwest justice by not going, but yeah, I live out here now, so I just like mostly am out here.
heck
But
yeah,
I need to get out and explore a little bit more in the Midwest. It's really the only. I guess it's probably like the part of the country I've been in the least by far, is the Midwest. So
um, yeah. So I have a question.
Okay.
So I also host a music podcast too. So
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. So I like to ask all my guests, and I'll put this on we have like a playlist where we compile all this, like all my guest songs, and like we have a community playlist. So I
Okay.
don't know if you listen to music while you run. It doesn't have to be while you run, but what are you listening to currently? It may or may not be while you're running, but
I don't usually listen to music when I run. I never listen to music when I race. Um, but what am I listening to? I would say I think Temper Trap is great.
okay.
Um, they are the uh, band that sings "Sweet Disposition," which everyone knows that
Okay.
song.
Wow.
But that I can't remember what the album that song is on is called, but that album is incredible, and I love that album. Like I'll just start at the top and just cycle it through. Um, so yeah, I guess Temper Trap is an answer. I don't know.
Cool.
I have a ridiculous array of musical tastes. Like I listen to German and Ukrainian rap artists. So like, yeah,
Cool.
yeah, it's a whole thing. So
We've had athletes put like Mongolian throat metal or something
oh
on the
yeah,
playlist.
dude, yeah. The Mongolian throat singing is nuts.
Yeah, and we've had some like Polish electronic music put on
Yeah,
there. So we've had
yeah,
like
I've
we've
heard of
had
that
stuff
too.
from everywhere put on that list. So that's pretty cool. I'll definitely add that to the list.
Yeah,
Um,
if you need something
and
Ukrainian, I'll throw
oh
that over
heck
to you.
yeah.
Yeah, there's an artist. She's so funny. She's like a pretty big lady, but she was a kindergarten teacher in Ukraine. But
Oh
then
wow.
she decided to become a rap star, and she's incredible. Her name is Alonia. I can't
Okay.
pronounce any of her songs, but it's like Alyona, and then Alonia, so just twice. But she's awesome. She had an album that came out in 2019 that I cannot pronounce because it's all Cyrillic. But that's another one where it's just like hit start and just let it cycle through. So yeah, she's great.
Okay, so I don't want to take up a whole bunch of your time. Like I said, it's been so awesome having you on. I've had a blast like following you on Instagram. Yeah, you're inspiring a lot of people I know, and you're just like crushing it. And it looks like you're having like the best time, which is like what
Oh
caught my
yeah,
attention, anyways.
best
Petting
time
dogs,
ever.
yeah,
Yeah, best
petting
day ever.
dogs, and yeah.
Yeah.
So I certainly appreciate it. But I know I kind of like gave you some time a little bit to think about this. But if you had to leave us with like any closing advice, what would that be?
It doesn't take any extra energy to be nice to people, especially ones that are helping you accomplish your goals. Um, I know it's really easy to feel like you have to, or I guess even accidentally, like bring other people down to the level that you're at, especially if you're in the middle of like the pain cave or whatever mile you're on. But I've always found that it's almost like gaslighting yourself. Like if you tell people that you're having a great time, and you genuinely will feel better. Um, so I mean, yeah, and eventually you just have a good time. Um, so yeah, it doesn't take any extra energy to be nice. You could say thank you and like psych yourself up for when the aid station comes because like people are gonna want to talk to you and they're gonna be excited. And if you're a buzzkill, then that's lame. So yeah, and also pet more dogs. I guess that's my two bits
Pet
of
more dogs.
pet more dogs.
That might be my favorite closing advice. The pet more
Yeah,
dogs, absolutely.
pet
Well,
more
and being
dogs.
kind. We should all be like more kind to people.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So there you go. Words to live by.
Well, thank you so much, Rachel, for coming on. Like I said, it was an absolute honor. I mean, tell everybody where to find you. You're Rachel Entrekin, so yeah,
You can
it's
Google
like
me and it'll give you everything you
yeah.
need to know at this point.
Um,
But yeah, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Strava. Those are probably the only two things I'm really on. Um, I have a blog,
oh
though, that
yeah, yeah.
I love writing. I love writing. It's really fun. So yeah, I have a blog. It's linked in my Instagram, and then I also have a column in Ultra Running Magazine now. So that's been
Oh,
fun.
cool.
Yeah, isn't that exciting? I started in the last issue, I guess, was my first
Oh,
time.
right. Oh, cool.
So yeah, so it's all new stuff. But yeah, it's been fun. So yeah, I guess those are Instagram and Strava. You can find me there.
Yeah, I just started following you on Instagram. I always like your titles, so I'm like, I like, yeah, your like your workout titles are always funny. So
Oh yeah, well that's mostly band doc, but sometimes
okay,
I mean
okay.
I'll usually change them. But yeah, it's always kind of funny. I
I think I
actually
saw one recently. You're like pet like saw two dogs or like it's
oh
like all
yeah,
right
that was
that
illegal. Yeah,
that's what I'm here for.
yeah, exactly. No, I try to. I mean, nobody likes morning run. That's dumb. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you how I felt about it. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Rachel, for coming on, and thank you everybody for listening. Yeah, give Rachel a follow. She's just out there crushing it, and like I said, she's having the best time. It's really fun. So, like I always say, like, share, rate, review the podcast, and thank you so much for tuning in. And I will see you all next time beyond the finish line.
Woo.
Bye.